I'm probably not going to do a live feeds update because I don't know if anything's really going to change. From the time of my recording, there's about 12 hours before anything could happen to Derek X to save him from going on the block. So I decided to do a ratings video because of the irrelevant BB alum trying to talk about this season's ratings when this season, compared to the 3 seasons before it, is the least of the worries for the show. And we will go over actual data in this video because I guess suddenly after I did a wrestling video on data yesterday, I decided I like math, even though I low-key hate math. But first, let's talk about the Challenge 37. Not covering it this season because I got really sick of it last season. It was just very boring and long. Plus, there was also the All-Stars on Paramount Plus, and now season 37. So 3 challenge seasons in 1 year, and the ratings are down because of it. But I think there's a bigger issue of why they're really down, and that is casting. But the Challenge 37, with its first 2 episodes, is down over a fourth of its audience from season 36. A fourth of the audience from 36 to 37 have stopped watching. Last season, the challenge debuted with close to 1 million viewers. And this had been building for the last several seasons between like 32 and 36. It was a very good little era for the challenge. But I think they have relied too much in thinking everybody just wants to see a challenge-based edit. And terrible editing and terrible casting is just not working. The vets they have right now, nobody cares about. Nobody cares about Fessy and Josh and Casey. They don't. And after the season, I don't think anybody should be caring about CT. Yeah, you watch some of these people forever, and I've been sick of a lot of these vets for a long time. But some of them are able to reinvent themselves enough. But even after they reinvent themselves, it gets old again. But the current vets, all the Big Brother alum and some other people, that just who cares? Season 37 is just season 36 continued, except everybody stopped caring about season 36 by the end of it. So who thought this was going to be a good idea to just have season 36 part 2? They are on pace to possibly lose a third of the audience they had in season 36 coming into season 37. Now, once I was unfortunately spoiled with a lot of things on Twitter about the season, I didn't want to watch it. So I think the challenge has a problem on their hands. People want drama for one, and not just a bunch of terrible, boring edits that are revolve around the challenges mostly. And we want people that are entertaining and not annoying. Josh has grown so fucking old. I would much rather have certain other players that were on Big Brother that came to the challenge rather than fucking Josh and Fessy. And clearly the ratings are showing. The ratings do not lie. Because this is big. Going on to lose almost a third of your audience, and they could end up eventually losing a third of the audience they had in season 36, is awful. But now let's move on to Big Brother's ratings, because we have people trying to shit on this season like fucking Janelle and Evil Dick and fucking Ovi and fucking Derek. And they just all sound A, like whiners, but B, I mean, if they're getting called anti-Black, well, they brought it on themselves because they want to complain now when there is an all-Black alliance, when we had all these all-white alliances. And those seasons were far more detrimental to the show than this one has been ratings-wise. And before I get into the actual data, let me just say that I could probably name almost any show on television and their ratings are down. Same goes for sports. Baseball ratings over the years have declined significantly. NBA ratings have declined significantly. Just TV in general, we're in a new era as it is. So if the ratings fall a little bit each year, it's to be expected. Now, I mean, losing a third of your audience like the challenge, I think that is when you start looking at something and be like, oh, fuck, something's wrong, I would hope. But also, can we just stop with some of these alumni of Big Brother? Big Brother has the worst alumni ever. Literally, they're all such shitty people. It's hard to really care about their opinions, but they always have to try and stay relevant some way. And I hope Meg's not watching this, but fuck Janelle. I'm so sick of hearing Janelle on social media this year. And the same goes for Obi. Both of these two have carried on that there's been no power shifts this season when there was a huge power shift in week 2. Anybody watching the live feed saw that despite Frenchie being really, really dumb and really, really bad at the game, he created a big alliance that wanted to roll to jury. He just created it too big, and then he tried to create other alliances and play the middle, and he fucked things up. But there was still a power shift once that fucking big ass Slaughterhouse Alliance started to fall apart, because if it wouldn't have happened, they would have been the big alliance to start off the season, and they were for the first 2 weeks until Frenchie decided to jump ship and throw people in the alliance under the bus. So that was most definitely a power shift. Evil Dick is definitely someone who I think, at least I've always seen him the past several seasons shit on these seasons. So it's not like he's doing anything different this season. So he's probably getting a little more hate than maybe he deserves. But I'm also sick of Evil Dick because he's honestly a really shitty winner. If you really want to get down to it, he could talk shit about all these other winners all he wants. He's a bottom tier winner. He's very close, in my mind, to Josh as a winner because he only won his season because one of the most ridiculous twists in this show's history, America's Player. And there was a point in that season where if Eric had not been America's Player, he would have voted Dick out, but he had to do whatever America voted him to do, and he had to keep Dick in the game. So I don't really feel like Dick earns a spot as one of the best winners at all. Entertaining, maybe, but a good winner, nah. And speaking of winners that are just looking dumb, Derek, regarded as one of the best winners, even though he really can't lace up Dan's boots, is coming out saying that everybody should play veto. Suddenly, the guy that helped mastermind huge alliances before and helped pregame last season's big alliance doesn't like big alliances. Oh my. Yeah, he's looking like a pig, all right, the ex-cop that he is. And him suggesting that everybody should play in the veto. Well, that's what the show used to do. But this guy, who's supposedly one of the best players, clearly can't do math because if everybody's playing in the veto, then you just don't have good odds to win the veto. And I get it that he's saying it because he doesn't want people to be backdoored, even though for him to win, he backdoored someone. So the alumni just get on Twitter and act as fucking dumb as the fan base itself because they changed the veto for a reason so that less people play so that the nominees have a shot to win, and it makes the game was supposed to make the game a little more exciting. Anyway, let me get to this actual data instead of, dragging these irrelevant alumni. So let's first go back to Big Brother 20. The fan base seems to consider this a positive season. The ratings speak otherwise. Although, for some reason, BB23, as terrible and trash as that was, the ratings actually went up that year compared to Big Brother 18. One of the only seasons since Big Brother 16 that went up. In fact, I think it is the only season since Big Brother 16 that the ratings went up. But I feel like that season, the gameplay being so poor as it was, is what led Big Brother 20 to not really ever catch on with the viewers as much. That year, viewership was down 11.83% as a whole. You can find all this data at tvseriesfinale.com. I used their data and did some math to figure out the actual average. for the season. And yeah, so it got a negative 11.83. And you know, that season was very similar to the Cookout in a way, because level 6, although they got blindsided early in the game because Winston went home, they still controlled that game despite not winning all the HOHs. They were an alliance that controlled the game by other means, and white viewers ate that shit up, okay? And the alumni did not complain about the ratings dropping by an 11.83%. But the season that really fucked this show's ratings was Big Brother 21. All the race controversy, fucking Jackson Michi, all the bullshit that season put this through. The viewership that season compared to Big Brother 20 went down negative 21.12. So it went down 21.12%. 21%. Pretty close to what the challenge is going down so far this season. Like I talked about earlier, that is a fifth of the fucking viewership from the season before stopped watching Big Brother with season 21. And I didn't see the fucking alumni come out saying, we need to make all these changes to the game, even though the game before had all these changes. I didn't see Janelle saying stupid shit like, Big Brother should be a fan vote. Like, Janelle, have you not seen that BBUK with the fan vote was canceled for low ratings years ago? Have you not seen that? But anyway, yes, Big Brother 21 down 21.12%. Then last year, Small Stars Big Brother 22 was not down quite as bad as the year before, probably because there was nothing on television to watch, and there was just, it aired later in the year, but the viewership was still down negative 6.86%. And now so far this year, Big Brother 23, after 6 weeks, is down only 5.44%. So yeah, it has faltered every season for 4 years. But this season so far has held up better than the 3 before. And yes, I think there is enough time left. There's 6 more weeks, so that the viewership could drop to having a bigger drop than Big Brother 22. But it's not on pace to drop more than Big Brother 20 or Big Brother 21 especially. It can go past Big Brother 20, but I don't think it's going to drop fucking negative 21.12. Okay? And I just bring this up because, I don't know, I just like being argumentative with the fan base, and I like pointing out all the dumb shit the fan base says and does, and the alumni are part of this toxic, dumb fan base that brings shit up when they don't really know what they're talking about. So yes, the viewership has dropped 4 seasons straight, but this season actually is not as bad as the alumni want to say it is, ratings-wise. Being down only 5.44%, nothing compared to BB20 and BB21. And BB20, the fan base praised, even though it was a lackluster season, and level 6 did dominate. Big Brother 21, of course, very controversial, and is really what helped fuck this franchise.